first clergymen to understand the relationship between religion and psychiatry. How did this come about, do you think?
Well, it came about through circumstances. I was in this church on Fifth Avenue at 29th Street in 1932, the bottom of the Great Depression of the 30s, the greatest depression we've ever had in the United States. And people were walking the streets, formerly well-to-do, even affluent people, standing in soup lines to be fed and not knowing where their next meal was coming from. It was incredibly poignant, and then they got very discouraged, naturally. Nobody over 30 years of age could get a job. That was agreed upon by everybody. So I had all these people come to me with problems of failure and discouragement and despondency and everything, and all the equipment I had was goodwill. And a man would say to me, "This is my problem," and he believed it was, and I took his word for it. But I had no experience, and I didn't realize that those symptoms might indicate other difficulties in his mentality or his emotional makeup. So I said to myself, if I could find a psychiatrist who believed also in religion and morality, and if I could get him to become a partner of mine, maybe I could understand these people better and help them more effectively. So I went to the secretary of the New York County Medical Society, and I told him my thinking, and he said, well, there aren't many psychiatrists who even believe in religion. Well, I said, there must be a few around somewhere. He said he'd let me know. So he called me up one day, told me he had one, and would I meet with him? And I told him our problem, and he listened to me silently, and finally he said, do you believe in prayer? I said, yes, sir. Why do you ask? Because he said, I've been praying for years that I would find a minister or a religious leader somewhere who would believe that he could work with the science of psychological science, psychiatry. So we teamed up. But in those days, both the ministers and the rabbis and the priests were against psychiatry, especially the Catholics were, and the fundamentalist ministry. The rabbis were a bit more enlightened, so that you had two warring forces, the psychiatrists on one side, clergy on the other. And we demonstrated over the years that this was a natural partnership, because the psychiatrist understands the operation of the human mind and emotions, and when he says to a person, your faith can make you whole, then it comes with an authority that's recognized. So we build up a thing called the American Foundation of Religion and Psychiatry, now called the Institutes of Religion and Health, in which we have ministers, rabbis, and priests, and we have psychiatrists, psychologists, social psychiatrists, and they work in perfect harmony and get great results, and it's now over 45 years old.
And that was Dr. Smiley Blanton, wasn't it, Dr. Peale?
Yes, it was.
Is he still living today?
No, he died, and he was... I asked him one time, what's the qualifications that a psychiatrist should have. He said there are two: love and insight. Unless they love the patient, they cannot help the patient. Now, he said insight. There's no chair of insight in any university in the United States. You either have it or you don't have it.
Yes.
And if you have it, and you combine that with love, and then you go and get a medical degree, you can be a psychiatrist.